Avi Weisfogel, International Academy of Sleep, coming to you today with a story. In my case, a story of mistakes and some stupidity. I'm going to keep this one short. If you have followed my career, you know that I graduated in dental school in 1998, did a residency, went through the normal motions right after residency. I did the same things every dentist does when you become a dentist. You join ADA, state dental. So I got my state license, I joined the ADA to become a member of the American Dental Association, got my DEA license, I had all the things that you need to run a practice. Now what they don't tell you in all this process is that there is this group of people known as the dental board who for whatever reason they feel like can decide to mess with you. Want to get on their bad side? They could really mess things bad with you. You know what? There is nothing out there. There's nobody that governs the dental board. It's the government, right? Who's going to win this fight? The government or Avi Weisfogel? In my case, I saw this happening. So I got to get away from this. I don't want to be involved with this kind of thing. So I went about looking for a way for me, even though I was making good money as a dentist, and went about things the way that a typical dentist would. I worked, I had jobs while I built up my own practice. I bought practices, I bought numerous practices. I learned different skills so I could try to keep everything in-house. There was a whole bunch of ways of going about this. Right now, the last practice that I owned was a sedation practice. And once you own a sedation practice, the things become a little bit dicey. The patients that come to see you are not the typical loyal patients. They're patients that come in once every 20 years. The ones that come in often are specifically coming in looking for you to use your DEA license to prescribe controlled substances for them. Yeah, I would always love it when a patient would come in. I think I don't remember what it's called. Maybe OxyContin, I think. That worked really well for me. Yeah. Go find your controlled substances and drugs somewhere else. I've heard that story before. I think this might have worked for me. Oh, really? That's what you need? For what? The pain that comes from a cleaning? This is what happens when you go through a sedation practice. Now, sedation cases are difficult. For me, they were really stressful. And I knew at that point I wanted to have a different life. And so I set about going on a path of sleep medicine becoming my way of earning a living. Now, if you haven't done an oral appliance on a patient, it's the most gratifying procedure you do. It's easy too. You're taking an impression and bite registration and inserting the equivalent of 2 night guards. But then this is a simple, easy thing for you to do, and it is the most profitable procedure around. So why are you not doing more of it? Tell you why. Because the deck is stacked against you. Right? So the way this whole system is set up, it's almost impossible to succeed in dental sleep medicine unless you go about things in a completely different way, a way that has different action items that have to be done in the exact order they need to be done. It needs to be completely controlled. You need to have a controlled environment or you won't get there. So it didn't exist when I went out into the world of sleep medicine. We had to create it. I don't take full credit for this. This was a full team of me and partners and investors and attorneys and healthcare accountants and insurance people that we spoke to and durable medical equipment people we spoke to. Just trying to understand what is going on in the sleep world. Why is it that you don't send patients to dentists, sleep world? Why is it that there's still millions? The conservative estimate says there's 40 million undiagnosed cases of obstructive sleep apnea in the United States. I say it's probably more. How do we know that? No matter where we go, what city, what state, it doesn't matter. There are thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions if you're in a big state, of people that are at risk and should be tested in a controlled environment. This is what you're looking to do. Bring some order to the world of sleep medicine. So I went about my business and walked away from my dental practice. Walked away from it, and here's where the mistakes came in. So if you're going to walk away from dentistry, don't think it's just going to be easy. They don't just let you out. Every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in. That was not a Pacino impression. It's just a line, me reciting his line. And that's old Pacino from The Godfather 3. Ugh. 2 phenomenal movies followed up by that one. Not good. Anyways, I spent 3.5 years. I worked 1 day a week as a dentist, and the rest of the time figuring out the sleep world. It'd be very heavy if we looked at a scale here on which side I was spending my time on. Literally, I saw all my dental patients in 1 day. My associate was in charge of the practice, my office manager and her, they ran the show. You know, I was off traveling and speaking to people and trying to figure out and bring some type of order to dental sleep medicine. I wanted a controlled environment. I wanted it to be a simple, predictable way. It just didn't exist. Only took 3.5 years and millions of dollars wasted on ideas that we attempted to do and failed until we were finally able to get a simple system in place. Order to dental sleep medicine, controlled environment, dental sleep medicine, where you're the one in control. This is the opposite of what exists. Where did the mistakes come? I made so many. I could probably record a video that would be so long you'd probably get bored. I get bored. You know, I wouldn't be able to listen to a video that's that long, because you could tell by me, my attention span is not so great. I'm moving along. I'm sitting there in dental school class and mind would wander. That was me. And so I wanted a different way. I wanted to use what was going on in my mind creatively in a different way. And so I decided to leave dentistry. Now, there's so many stories about there. He lost his license. It's all nonsense. You want to believe in what on the internet or read on the internet, you might as well just go onto the National Enquirer and start saying, oh my God, I can't believe Joe Biden's an alien. Oh my God. I thought he looked a little bit funny with all that makeup. By the way, I'm not discussing politics, nor will I ever discuss politics. And it's embarrassing to me, the division in this country. This is the greatest country in the world, and with all this division and fighting, it's just so not what I wanted. It also wasn't I wanted for my business world. I don't want a world of fighting and backstabbing, which I see in dentistry all the time. So I decided to get out of dentistry. I gave up my license. Voluntarily gave up my license and made a mistake. I gave up my state license. I just didn't remember to give up my DEA license. So what happens then? The DEA revokes your license. Decision and order. We are taking away your DEA license. I wasn't using it anymore. I didn't need it. I just forgot to give it up. Big mistake. Why? Because if you look at the top of any Google ranking, here's what DEA revokes license. Now, someone can actually say, hey, he did have his license revoked. Yeah, dumb me. I got my license revoked because I forgot to give it up. I gave up everything else. Wasn't planning on practicing dentistry ever again. But forgot that one little mistake lives in Google infamy. On and on. That stuff doesn't go away. So, as I said, do some research, talk to people. Here's what I would love for you to do. If you want to get into dental sleep medicine, you want to talk about the Dental Sleep MBA program, you want to work with International Academy of Sleep, just speak to the people that work with International Academy of Sleep, that know Avi Weisfogel. They'll all tell you the same thing. It's a guy who will do anything to help you succeed. Doesn't like fighting, won't answer things that are rumor or gossip. It's just not my way. Doesn't want to do anything but to have everybody get along. The first time when I went out after I had opened Dental Sleep Masters with Barry Glassman, the best science mind out there, and put this program together, the very first day, it was like a cyber attack galore. It was incredible. It was a welcome to this very backstabbing world. You went to dental school, you know what I'm talking about. You remember the backstabbing jerks that were in your class, and if you don't remember, I'm sorry, it's you. But what do you do when you're in this environment, this ultra competitive, backstabbing environment where everyone's out for themselves, and that's the profession you chose? And if you come out of that profession now, you're hundreds of thousands of dollars into debt, and you're probably just going to be working for someone the rest of your life. Imagine going into $600,000 of debt to be an employee. Whoa. Take control of your life, guys. I took control of mine. If only I had remembered to give up that DEA license. I gave up the state license. Adios. I just forgot. Simple lessons for you guys. Don't make the same mistakes I did. You can do whatever you need to do. You can become own the biggest dental sleep medicine company around. And guess what? You don't need to be a dentist in order to do. No state license necessary. No DEA license necessary. All you got to do is employ a dentist. And as we see today, roughly 75% of the dentists right now are employees. So there's tons of them out there. You want to offer them a job where they can get paid $2,500 a day at the end of the day for seeing 10 patients, doing 10 sleep consults, taking 10 impressions. You will have people lined up for this job. All of them will have a state license and a DEA license and not have to do something silly like me and forget at some point to give it up because now it's stuck out there. What you gonna do? We move forward in life. We do good things. Surround yourself with the best people. You will not find better people in the field of dentistry, honestly, in the world than the group that is associated with the Dental Sleep MBA program and IAOS. The finest people I have ever been around. And that's what you want to do. Put yourself in an environment where all you'll see is good. All you'll see is people rooting for your success. Imagine that. Imagine if somebody who was right down the block from you was rooting for your success. Novel approach to working. Hope this video sank in a little bit. Don't make the same dumb mistakes I did. Take control of your life. Dental Sleep MBA program is the best way to do. And put it this way, it's not a bad thing when you don't have to answer to the dental board anymore in your life. Have a great day. See you on the next one.